right, we are here, the Devil's Eyes podcast. I'm your host, Jake Ellenbogen. Joining me is my co-host, Jarrett Bailey, and this is a brand new podcast. We're going to start off with one of my favorite horror movies. I'm sure one of your favorites as well, horror movie series, and we are previewing on the eve of the movie release, Halloween Kills.
Man, as much as I love the series, these movies, we've had a lot of stinkers in between. Blumhouse, Jason Blum, David Gordon Green, Danny McBride making this new trilogy. Halloween 2018 obviously did not disappoint. I'm excited to see what Kills brings, especially with all, we know certain things that are going to be in the movie. Obviously, we don't know what it looks like yet. We're going to see it later this week, but John Carpenter saying that it's the bloodiest, most gory introduction to the series. I'm excited for that. This is the most excited I've been for a movie in a very long time.
No, I agree with you because I'm a big MCU fan, so there are a lot of movies I've been really hyped for. As far as horror, I would say It Chapter 2 got me really excited. And then, Halloween Kills, I'm just over the moon. I cannot wait for this thing. You can really tell that they're putting everything into this. And it is funny that Danny McBride is a part of it because you wouldn't expect him to be, part of something this bloody and everything.
Danny McBride's like the diet Jordan Peele right now.
Yeah, it's interesting, with Chris Rock, moving over.
Yeah, in the new Saw movie, yeah.
What's going on here? Are we getting this?
We're just getting like a bunch of like comedic introduction into horror. I'm okay with that though. All of them so far have been good.
Absolutely, I'm totally here for that. So let's dive in with the only way I know how to do. We'll just throw something up there and we'll talk about it. And it's gonna be the over/under on Michael Myers' kill count in Halloween Kills, and I put it at 30. There are a lot of people on Twitter that were saying under. I believe you and I were both on the over on that one.
It's just because like in the first 10 minutes. Like we've seen it in the preview, like he comes out of the house. There's at least 6-7 firefighters there, and he's going to kill all of them. That's 7 kills in the first 10 minutes of the movie. So yeah. I think it's going to be close. But if it does go over, it's going to be barely. I think it'll be 31-32. I hope it is. Look, John Carpenter's hyping this thing, man. So I want to see a lot of death. People are going to think we actually worship the devil when they're watching this.
I would say this, okay? Horror movies and this horror genre actually in general, and this is why it's my favorite. Just think about this, okay? And we were just talking about this off air in a sense. We're talking about Ice Nine Kills' new album that's coming out on Friday. So you have Jamie Lee Curtis's mom as the kind of original scream queen,
right?
In a sense, the shower scene in Psycho, and then you have Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode. And it's just so cool. All these connections. You have H2O kind of referencing that, like the super meta scene. You know what I'm talking about? Where, Jamie Lee runs into her mom. She's playing a different character, of course, but she's literally her mom. And then she's walking away to her car and they play a little bit of that Psycho theme.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see, it's super meta. I get it. Some people don't like that shoved in your face. I thought it was kind of cool. But that
it's like, that's her daughter. There's her mom. Do you get what we're doing? I like it personally. I'm a very big fan of that.
I think it works. And I'm also a huge fan of Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which is also super meta. So maybe I'm just a meta head, but
maybe.
I enjoy stuff like that. I like the little connections. And one thing I didn't know, by the way, coming into this, is that Lindsay from the first one is going to be in this movie.
Yep. Lindsay Wallace will be, who the hell else? Lonnie Walker as well. So for those who don't know who Lonnie Walker is the kid that Michael Myers grabs in the schoolyard and he lets him go. That's Lonnie Walker.
I love it.
So yeah, and Lonnie Walker is actually the father of, who's the boyfriend in Halloween 1? Why can't I remember his name? Cameron.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So that's Cameron's father. Cameron Walker is Lonnie Walker's son. So a lot of, we know that, 2018 is a direct sequel to 1978, but getting all these characters coming back, I love that. That's awesome to me. So I love it's very clear that David Gordon Green loves Halloween. and how much he respects the original movie. I mean, having John Carpenter as a producer on it, the fact that John Carpenter agreed to be the producer on it, like this is the first project that he's agreed to be a part of since Halloween 2. So that says a lot about this trilogy and what they've done with it.
No, I agree with that. Although, he did have a little bit of, he was in the score the last, 2018.
Yeah.
And that one scene, I think you know where I'm going here, where you have the new protagonist or the new, Scream Queen, whatever you want to call her. Alice.
Yes, Allison.
Yeah, I'm totally blanking on that. So that one scene where she comes to that gate where her friend just got impaled by Michael Myers, and they play that. And I actually know how they did it. So,
I saw the behind the scenes where they took like the I don't know the names of these things, but they just like drag that across the guitar, dude.
Yeah, they took a bow under the guitar, and I was like, what?
Yeah, the score on that was phenomenal. The score that they've shown in the preview, it almost sounds like a violin, maybe to me. Sounds dope. So the score to me is like just another character of the movie. Like if the score is great, then that definitely helps. And the fact that John Carpenter and his son and a few other artists are involved in making the score for this, like it's going to be great.
Well, as long as it's not like Halloween 5 with the clown noises.
To hell with Halloween 5.
And the mask was terrible. All right, so sticking with this real quick, we'll finish this part up. Over under on Michael Myers kill count in Halloween Kills. We both have over 30. We have a bunch of people live, which appreciate you. If you guys are listening to this, this is pre-recorded for you. Thank you for doing that as well. But I am mentioning that there's a lot of people live right now that are saying the under. So that's interesting. I mean, I would say...
I hope he just creates like a shish kebab of just victims that he just carries around with him and we can count. That'd be great.
It ends up being like the kill count record for like horror movies and no one sees it coming.
I would be okay with that. Just have him kill everybody in Haddonfield.
Yeah, right. Just never see it coming. And it's like, just kills everybody.
Would be okay.
Halloween Ends was all a mirage. They weren't actually doing it.
Halloween Ends is just an overhead shot of Haddonfield with everybody dead. It's a 13-second movie.
Exactly.
Thank you for paying your hard-earned money to come see this.
That's funny. All right, so let's move on to the next thing here. So we got the ranking of the franchise, and then we'll talk about what we should expect from Michael in Halloween Kills.
Beautiful.
So I'll let you get started on that.
Okay. So what do we want to do? I mean, there's 10 that I included. I'm not including Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
That's just last for me. So
okay.
By default. So
okay. So we can kind of go like 10 through 6 each, and then we can go 5 through 1. If you want to do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is my number 10. I love Rob Zombie's music. I really do. Rob Zombie is one of my favorites. Don't let him ever make another Halloween movie. The first one wasn't bad. Like, obviously, I'll touch on that here in a minute. But where he went, I respect him making it his own. But having the mask half gone where we can see Michael Myers' face, that's a big no-no, Rob Zombie. And I don't like that you didn't understand that. So that wasn't good. But just the whole thing in the end, the fact that he screams "die" at the end, hated that.
Yeah.
And the whole white horse thing throughout, it just sucked. So sorry, Rob Zombie. I love your music, but Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 was bad. Yeah. Halloween Resurrection's my number 9. Also not good. The way that I don't like how they retconned the ending of H2O. And then the way that they kill Laurie Strode in that timeline, just stupid. They take one of the greatest characters in horror movie history and make her look dumb. So
yeah, that was really dumb.
And
I was
look,
not a fan of that.
It's in the midst of like the whole Scream, like after Scream came out, every horror movie that was a slasher tried to be Scream. This was Halloween's version of Scream in a way. It wasn't great. The mask sucked too. I did not like the mask, and it had like movie effect makeup on it too, where like it was very just not good. So Halloween Resurrection and the characters, like I was rooting for the characters to die in that movie. There was nobody in that movie that I liked. So
the one guy with the sword fighting, the knife fight.
No, all of them suck. Buster Rhymes doing karate at the end. Yeah, no.
Well, I didn't need to see that.
No, absolutely not. Who else? Tyra Banks, wasn't she in that too?
Yeah, she was in that.
The movie sucked. All right. Halloween 5's my number 8. I know that The Mask gets a lot of hate. I don't like The Mask, but The Mask and Resurrection was worse. The Rob Zombie Halloween 2 one was worse. The H2O one was worse. And we'll get into H2O. But yeah, another weird retcon at the end of Halloween 4 when Jamie Lloyd seems to have got some sort of Michael Myers in her when she stabs her stepmom or her foster mom, whatever the hell. Okay, I've got a fun story about that. I'll save it for Halloween 4. Damn it. It's a great story. But regardless, I will watch it. It's one of once we get past Halloween Resurrection, I'll watch all of these. But yeah, man, it was just weak. And now I will say Donald Pleasance kills it in this movie. He's just gone full-blown maniac where he's just, okay, I'll use this little girl as live bait to lure Michael in. It's a genius plan. What could go wrong?
Ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
He's like screaming in her face the whole movie.
Yeah, he saves that movie. He's Donald Pleasance, bless his heart, man. He absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, the movie as a whole, it was just kind of dull. You touched on it, the whole clown noise squeaking and whatnot with the cops, that was dumb.
I can't believe we're actually that's an actual thing that happened.
And freaking Tina. I don't know what my language parameters are for this, so I'm not going to swear because I don't want to demonetize you.
Tina, all right. Now, let's talk about Tina for a sec. Because
let's talk about Tina.
She has no blood connection to Jamie. None.
She's
she doesn't even have a stepsister connection to Jamie. She is the friend of said stepsister, which I'd go a step further in saying that, with everything going on with Jamie, I don't even think that she even really knew Tina, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Rachel, the sister of Jamie Lloyd, Rachel Carruthers, who was phenomenal, by the way. I love that character. They just bring in this. They kill her off really early in the movie in a lame ass way, with the whole scissor stabbing thing, and then Tina's just randomly introduces, oh, this is Rachel's friend. She's gonna live. If they would have done that to Tina, I would have been okay with it. If they would just killed Tina off really early and just had Rachel, that would have made this movie a lot better. But yeah, Halloween 5, we spent too much time on this already. It sucks. But it's one of the ones where it doesn't suck enough where I won't watch it if it's on TV. So once I see it on the AMC Fear Fest, I will turn it on.
When you say that, it's always on AMC in my opinion. I think I've seen that more than anything.
That's the one that is always on, and I don't know understand it. Halloween H2O is my number 7. This movie, it's a cool story. I love the story behind it. I love, Laurie, faking her death, going to another state, starting a new life, and then Michael finding her. That's a really cool story. The Mask is what kills this for me. If The Mask was better, if they would have used The Mask from Halloween 6, this is a top 5 for me because the story is really awesome. The characters, I like her son John enough, and obviously Laurie's a badass. And there are people in the movie who I wanted to see Michael kill. I think that's kind of the balance that you want to have in a slasher movie. So,
did you like Ronnie?
No.
I like LL Cool J. I didn't like Ronnie. I don't like LL Cool J enough for me to like Ronnie because Ronnie's just terrible.
He's just annoying and stupid.
He's just the dumb enough guy to let Michael into this guarded, boarding school.
Yes. So, and Frankie in the comment made a good point. You should never, ever, ever be able to see Michael Myers' eyes. And they made that mistake badly because they are so visible throughout the entire movie. I don't ever want to see Michael Myers' eyes. And they made that horrible mistake of making the eye holes too big and it too tight on the actor's face. So that kind of ruined it a little bit for me. Like I said, if they had a better mask, if they just used the one from Curse of Michael Myers, this is a top 5 for me. And then number 6, before I let you get into it, Rob Zombie's Halloween. I actually liked Rob Zombie's Halloween, the first one. I thought it was really good. It's just a more bloody, gory version of the first one. I will say, people get mad about the backstory. I don't like the backstory too much either, to be honest. But, once we got into the whole action of Michael Myers killing people, I was a fan. So I could do without the backstory, but overall, I thought the movie was pretty okay. So that's my 10 through 6.
All right, so my 10 through 6, I got Curse at 10. I hate it.
Oh, you've got Curse that low?
I hate it so much.
I know, and look, I understand, I have it higher than you. I respect the fact that I'm very much in the minority with this. So you continue. You can give your reason for this.
Yeah, I see the whole point to me with Michael Myers is that he doesn't really have that backstory, right? We don't know what he is. He's the embodiment evil. He has flesh. He looks like a human, but he's not a human, you know? And it's funny, I don't know if you follow like there's a channel on YouTube, Film Theory, and they actually had a great video. It was like how to kill Michael Myers
I have
because
seen
it's
that.
like
Yes.
yeah, and so they were like talking about like his like his stem cells or whatever. If you
Mhm.
like kill off his stem cells, you have to kill him from the inside out. But now all of a sudden we're getting into science on how to go. It shouldn't be that hard to kill somebody. So clearly
Mhm.
he's not human. So by trying to like humanize him with having this cult and just saying that he had these powers, it just oh god. And then oh my god, have you seen the director's cut of 6? Yeah, it's enough to make you
Yeah,
hate 6 even
that's
more.
I hate the director's cut. I like the theatrical version. That's the one that I'll talk about it when I talk about 6.
I'm a huge fan of Paul Rudd,
Me
but
too.
not even he could save that movie for
That
me.
was like his first big like movie role too.
Yeah, it was. It's crazy. But yeah, that's 10 for me. I hate the cult so much. Plus they couldn't all right, they lose a lot of credit in my opinion because they couldn't even pay Danielle Harris to come back as Jamie
Mhm.
Lloyd. That annoys me because there's no emotional connection. Like, who is that girl? Oh, she's supposed to be Jamie,
Yeah,
but
that
it's
that
like I
didn't do
don't know
anything
who
for
she
me
is.
either. Yep.
She's dead meat. That's what she is. Number 9 is Halloween 2, 2009, by of course Rob Zombie. I just very much dislike this film.
I'm surprised that you have Curse lower than Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
I hate Curse that much.
Wow.
I
That
hate
says a
Curse
lot.
that much. I just think the Cult of Thorn just really ruins it. I
That's fair.
really to make any sort of backstory makes him less scary. So
Yeah.
it's like, now I'm like, okay, all right, now you're giving me a reason why Michael's doing what he's doing. No. Um, Plus the cult is just such a joke because they're all
Yeah.
like trying to operate on that baby, do whatever they're gonna do, and then Michael comes in and they're like expecting him to be like thankful
Hey,
for it or
Michael.
whatever. And then he's just like, nah. And then also they have the worst flashing lights sequence
Dude,
ever.
that sucked.
Like, if you have epilepsy or any sort of like, you
You
should
can't
not
watch
be
that movie.
ever watching that movie because that scene will kill you. Like it will absolutely just blow your brain to a bloody pulp. I mean, it's brutal for me.
Yeah.
Way brutal for me. So yeah, that's why it's 10. Number 9, again, Halloween 2, just really didn't like it. The theatrical cut, I guess, at least doesn't have Laurie turning into Michael Myers.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
The director's cut has like Laurie as Michael Myers. Like I don't even know. And
I
then
don't
the whole
either.
don't even get me started with whatever the white horse unicorn, whatever
Rob needed a way to
talking
get
about a Halloween movie. Yeah, unfortunately,
Rob Zombie needed a way to get his wife into the movie.
yeah, you did say that. Yeah. Number 8 is Halloween 5. We talked about it. Tina. She's supposedly like the final girl that they're trying to get us to like, but like she's not because she dies, first off. And secondly, she has no connection to Jamie. Jamie being the kid, Jamie being the only reason this movie is somewhat entertaining because Jamie's connected with Michael. And it's just a different take on horror because I don't think at any point they had, this telepathic communication in mind. When they first came out with Halloween. I do know it initially was a John Carpenter Halloween anthology that wasn't supposed to be just Michael, but good thing that they didn't just stick to that. Number 7's Resurrection. Okay, there's some things I like about Res. I do find it somewhat entertaining for me. I think that's the thing. Like, I don't think the characters are particularly awesome or anything like that, but I just find it entertaining just because of the setting. And I think it's kind of like realistic. And I also look at it like it makes fun of, today and how we're all about reality TV, or at least we were then. And so they're making fun of reality TV and they're like, I got a great idea. Let's go to the Michael Myers house. That's a brilliant idea. Let's shoot this. And also on top of that, we're going to have Busta Rhymes or whatever and Tyra Banks just like throw different booby traps in the actual house if that's already not bad enough. and then Michael actually comes, and then they're not going to believe it, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, Michael's actually there. So that's I don't hate Rez as much as you, but I don't love it. Number 6 is H2O for me. Now, H2O is really cool because, Jamie Lee Curtis, she really wanted to come back, but she wanted to come back to something that she believed in. And so I like H2O because it's something that she did believe in. It's something that was supposed to be like, kind of a love letter to the fans. Like, okay, so 1 and 2 happened, but we're getting rid of the Jamie Lloyd stuff and all of that. And you know what? I like Jamie Lloyd. I think she works. I think 4 is good. And we'll get into that, in our upcoming in this ranking. But I just feel as though, what are you going to let go? This idea that you can get another movie with Laurie Strode, as the main protagonist, just so you could have that be canon, the whole Cult of Thorn and everything? Or would you just rather just scrap that and just have H2O? And to me, I always would pick H2O as much as I, and I would say 4 is a better movie. But I really like H2O, and I think it has a better story, so to speak. And you kind of touched on that. So, fun fact, though, in an interview when they were like, "So did you kill Michael? Was that the initial plan?" Mustafa Akkad basically said there was in the contract you could never kill Michael Myers. So they kind of just left it like, oh yeah, he was supposed to do that. And also, fun fact that. Jamie Lee Curtis said in an interview is that basically she said she didn't like the script. She didn't like how it was supposed to end. And then they're like, okay, we'll change it. And then they didn't change it. So she's just like, all right, whatever. I'm done with this.
Wow. And that's why we didn't get Jamie Lee Curtis in any sort of Halloween production for another 21 years or however long it was.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. All right. So we'll get into our top 5s. I will say this. 4 up for me are the elite of the elite. I have Halloween 6 at 5. Now, it's the theatrical version. Like I said, the director's cut sucks badly. My favorite thing about this movie is the environment, because to me, it's the most like October Halloween feeling movie to me. I love the setting of this movie. I love the aesthetic of it. It just feels like Halloween time, and I love it. Michael's mask in this is also really good. I think it's the closest to the original at that time. I think it's the most physically like horrifying that he looked since the original. I think that Rob Zombie's Halloween also. Tyler Mane, by far the most like crap your pants terrifying Michael Myers. He did phenomenal in that.
The full on sprinting in the first one off of that.
That was something, wasn't it? But yeah, I mean, I like 6. I understand. I respect the flaws out of it. And I respect that I'm in the minority for liking it as much as I do. But I love the aesthetic of it. I love Michael's mask. And there's some really cool kills in this movie. Like when he puts the nurse's head through that just random spike in the wall. There's not another spike down that entire hallway. Just happens to be right there.
He just loves decorating, man.
I guess so.
Can't leave anything empty on a wall.
Exactly. I do like the killing of that person who's supposed to be Jamie Lloyd, where he just like fillets her. I thought that was neat. So I mean, there's some really good kills in that movie, and the kill where he kills John in the basement by making his head explode. It's what the sugar daddy likes.
I'm not gonna lie, that was I enjoyed that,
and like it was cool because like that's a character that everybody was probably kind of rooting for to die, and he died in the best way in the movie. So. Yeah, man, like I just love the aesthetic of it. I love the setting. Michael was really physically imposing. I don't like the Cult of Thorn storyline either. So we can both agree that sucks. But I think the movie as a whole, I like it. As long as it's the theatrical and not the director's cut. That's the best version of that movie. So Halloween 6 is my number 5. I'm going to put Halloween 2, the 1981 Halloween 2 here. I adore this movie so much. It's another one like the original Halloween is a better movie to me, but Halloween 2, the environment of it rules. There's a lot of orange lighting in it. It just feels creepier. The setting in a hospital, I thought was really good. I don't like the reveal that they're related because he doesn't need a reason to kill her. Just kill her. So, but no, I love Halloween 2. It's one of, like I said, 4 up are the elite of the elite to me. Halloween 2 is very good. The mask, like obviously, like, it's the same mask from Halloween 1, but it's also on a different actor's head. Dick Warlock played Michael Myers in the second one. Nick Castle played him in the first one. Obviously, their heads are a little bit different shaped. So the mask sits a little bit weird on his head, which I think kind of makes him creepier in a way.
Yeah, and it yellowed because it was in a smoker's
house. Deborah Hill kept the mask after the movie, and she was a chronic smoker. So it yellowed because it sat under her bed.
Isn't that amazing?
It's great. It's awesome.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I love that movie. It's really good. The score for that too, like at the beginning, when it cuts to, I can't remember what the other character said, but Sam Loomis says, "You don't know what death is," and then it cuts into that score where it's like really high pitched and really fast. It's like dun, 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 dun. Oh, dude, I love it. So in terms of like intros, I think that might have the best intro of any Halloween movie. So Halloween 2 is my number 4.
That cranked up the gore, by the way.
Oh, it did.
I don't know if you noticed that, but I mean, of course you probably did. But like when he walks in, the first kill he gets, like when the blood splashes up on her face, they were really subtle about the gore on the first one. If you really think about it, yeah,
and I think that was, we didn't really see a lot of like gore pre-slasher, and like obviously Halloween is like the original slasher movie, so
yeah,
I'm glad that they've decided to get a little bit more bloody, because I mean that's obviously. Nowadays, that's just a given in horror movies, but I think back then that was that wasn't commonplace. So, number 3, Halloween 2018, this masterpiece that was bestowed upon us. I will forever be grateful to Danny McBride and David Gordon Green and Jason Blum. The fact that we get, when this was announced as just scrapping everything except the original. The fact that Jamie Lee Curtis was coming back to play Laurie Strode, this whole 40 years later storyline, everybody was hyped for it, and it met expectations and honestly exceeded it. I think James Jude Courtney is the best Michael since Nick Castle. You can make the argument James Jude Courtney is the best Michael Myers. He's fantastic. So I would agree. He's absolutely phenomenal. Follow him on Instagram. He seems like a lovely guy, by the way. I love the characters in this too. Like Allison is a really good character, very good introduction into the series. But they also have really good like little plugs of like comedic timing where we why can't I remember any of these characters' name? Who's the little boy's name? Somebody help me in the chat.
Julian, I think.
Julian. Yes. Yeah, like the little comedic stuff with Julian was good. The two cops arguing over the food in the cop car was really fun. And obviously the kills in this were really good. When he stomps Sertain's head into the ground.
Well, I think we all needed that because that dude is he was going to ruin the movie.
The worst.
He had a chance to ruin that movie, honestly.
He did.
Because like when he put the Michael Myers mask on, I was like, okay, come on. You were doing so well. Like, just no way.
Frankie commented, "Shut up, Dave."
Oh, man.
Oh my God, I love this movie so much. But yeah, I agree. Whenever he put on the Michael Myers mask, I got scared because I was like, oh no, please don't. You were doing so well up until this point. Don't mess it up.
Exactly.
But they saved themselves. Yeah, like even the off-screen kills looked brutal. Like when they find the kid's dad by the bus with like his spine in his throat, that was cool. Ripping out the mechanic's teeth and dropping them over the bathroom stall was really good. They got really brutal with both the journalists. Love that.
Someone was saying that one journalist lived. There's no way that guy lived.
I've seen that too, where it's speculated that he survived the attack. So
how would he have survived? Like he got his mouth bashed against like the top of one of the stalls, like repeatedly, like a good 8 or 9 like slams. And this guy isn't human, so it's like he didn't live.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, we'll find out Friday.
God, now I'm annoyed. Like if he actually lived through that just sets a bad precedent.
I do think that the cop was a Barker that was ran over and stabbed in the throat by Sertain. Apparently he lives.
I actually suspected he lived because they moved away from that setting.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of a signal like, okay, he's not dead.
Yeah. So I can live with that. So yeah, Halloween 2018. I mean, it's the best. To me, it's the best like late sequel by a mile. And you can make the argument it's the best movie after the original. I have one above it in terms, well, two above it, but my number 2 movie, I love Halloween 4, man. I love Halloween 4. Now I go back and forth with this by day. Like sometimes I'd be like, Halloween 2018 is better, but 4 for me, like I'm just a big 1980s horror guy, and I love the aesthetics of this. I know the mask, like people don't like the mask of it. I actually don't mind the mask.
I like the mask.
It's
a little cartoony.
Yeah,
but
like
I like it.
I think the biggest complaint is that it has eyebrows to people. Like he just looks like surprised to see you. But I think the mask is really good. The kills in this are pretty good. The characters are fantastic. I think this is the best like overall cast of any Halloween movie. I love Rachel Carruthers. She's a fantastic final girl. I love, obviously, Jamie Lloyd's awesome. But yeah, some of the kills we got, like the ripping off one of the trucker's face, that was awesome. That ruled. But yeah, the ending was really good until they retconned it.
Dear God.
Yeah, not great. But I love this movie so much. Trying to think of what else I can say about it. Taking a gun, deciding to just impale somebody with it rather than shoot it. That was great.
Amazing.
That was awesome. That was the first Halloween movie I saw when I was a kid. I think I was like 6. My parents had it on.
First one I saw was 2.
Okay. So I had nightmares about like reoccurring just Michael Myers nightmares like once every 2 weeks up until I still do sometimes, but like I'll wake up not scared because like, old Mikey. But like when I was a kid, I was like, why does this keep happening? It's just this ginormous faceless guy. But yeah, I adore this movie. It's fantastic. The characters are amazing. Yeah, they kind of overdid it with all of the shots at the end where he falls into the pit. Like he got shot at least like 40 times, and then the stick of dynamite. No, he lived.
I know. It's funny because like in 2. Like when he's like, I shot him 6 times. They actually shot him 7 times.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, they did.
They go crazy with the shooting, man. I mean, I get it. Obviously, it's Michael Myers, but no, it's definitely thinking about 4. You know what's funny is 4 and 5. When I was little, they used to kind of wrap into each other in my mind because I always was like, oh, that one scene, with the guy with like. Where Michael like scratches up his car, which is like one of my favorite kills.
I do like that kill.
Like I used to be like, yeah, that's from 4, and everyone would be like, no, it's from 5. What are you talking about? I'm like, and sure enough, it's back to the whole AMC FX thing where they have this obsession of playing 5 all of the time. So it's like it's embedded in my head. And Tina running and getting stabbed for like no reason. It's like, oh, she saved Jamie. It's like, well. Not really, yeah. Like Jamie was pointless death.
Yeah. Oh, another good kill from 4 is Bud when he like picks up and throws him into the electrical plant thing. That was great. That was fantastic.
No, there's some gnarly kills. Like, is 6 the one where he just like snaps the guy's neck to the point where the bone's coming out?
Yes.
Yeah. Like what?
I love that kill. See, 6 isn't bad. I'm telling you, Jake. Come around to 6.
A good kill isn't going to do it for me.
That's fair. So 4 is my 2, and then obviously the original is going to be number 1. It's my favorite movie.
Yeah.
Not just like horror, like it's just my overall favorite movie. Love it. It's a cinematic masterpiece, and it's just simple. I think it's a perfect example of less being more. Psychotic guy in mask kills babysitters.
Yeah.
And in an everyday town, he could come to your town and do it. Be scared. It's fantastic. There's nothing I can say that hasn't been said about it a million times, but we might as well because we're doing a horror podcast based on Halloween, so I guess we should talk about it. Like, the mask is great. We know the backstory behind the mask. It's great that they did that. Can you imagine if they would have just left it as just Will Shatner killing people?
Oh my God. It's such a perfect mask. I mean, it is. It just kind of goes to show you sometimes simplicity is everything.
Yeah. It's just this, I think that the fact that it's just emotionless makes it better. The lack of emotion is.
Think about all these masks. Like Ghostface. You think like so much went into that just to make the ooh, like,
Yeah.
and then the hockey mask. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? I mean, these are the most iconic, and it's like they were pretty simple to make.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think to pertain this to wrestling, because you know how much I love wrestling. Um, the original Kane mask, just the red with the black across it, no
Yeah.
emotion or anything. That's he reminded me of Michael Myers. You know, he didn't give a damn about anybody. He was there for one purpose, and that was to kill. And he looked horrifying doing it. So Halloween is just cinematic masterpiece. I love you, John Carpenter, forever. I'm so glad that this movie is a thing. So, yeah, Halloween 1978. Not just my favorite movie out of the series, just my favorite movie of all time.
Well, that's some lofty praise there. So I left off with H2O at 6.
Yeah.
At 5, I have Halloween 4. I really enjoy the movie. Definitely not a knock that it's 5. I think when you get up into the top 5 here,
Yeah.
you know, either if it's yours or my top 5 or anyone's for that matter, you have to admit they came out with 5 arguably elite movies. You know, I mean, that's the thing. So that's why, you know, when you look at this series, and right, we can knock this series, we can talk about how bad its lows were, but its highs were high. And by the way, you know, going through this year and watching all the series, the iconic film series, it really goes to show you, if you go back and you watch those, Halloween is a lot better than Friday the 13th. Halloween is a lot better
A
than
lot
A
better.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, I like Freddy Krueger more than Jason. I like A Nightmare on Elm Street series more than, you know, Friday the 13th. But my point is that the Halloween series has some super highs, whereas Friday the 13th, I have a hard time picking my favorite because I don't think a lot of them are very good.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few that are like solid, you know. Sorry if I'm offending anyone out there. And then of course, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street is like everyone's just like, that's the one movie series where no one talks about the other series. They're just like, oh yeah, the original one, right? Like that one, like 2 happened and no one acknowledges 2. 2 has like the greatest thing, like when the screaming, that kid screams.
Yeah.
I know Shot by Nolan in the comments, he knows what I'm talking about. Jesse screaming that is just so funny. So high pitched. So yeah, so 5 is for me, number 5 is Halloween 4. I just really much enjoy it. I thought you know, it was a great story, and I like how they added Jamie. They moved on. They couldn't get Jamie Lee Curtis to come back, so they didn't panic and just scrap the whole project. They actually built onto it, you know, and they didn't have to do that. They could have done something else, but I love that they did that. Jamie Lloyd ends up, you know, working well. Number 4, Halloween 2. The original, not Rob Zombie's. We've already specified that's way down there. The original one is so good. And, you know, I think the reason I like it so much is because, you know, some people don't like the regurgitated scenes from the first one, but it wasn't filmed at the same time. It's supposed to be like a part 2. I mean, it's supposed to take place right after. So I don't mind those scenes. I do like, you know, the quick, you know, kill that he has in that house that he walks in, because you do get to see that splash of blood and you're like, okay, this is a different type of movie. They are going more gory in this one.
Yeah.
And I mean, we could go through it, you know, the hot tub scene, the iconic hot tub scene where he starts, I mean, her face kind of starts coming apart like Elmer's glue. And then, you know, the one, of course, the iconic, you know, lifting kill with the scalpel. I mean, there's just so many incredible, you know, the blood that, let's talk about that kill. Cause
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that
That's
was nuts.
true.
So he killed her by basically
Draining
sucking
her.
all the blood out of her body. And then that dude fell on it because he tripped and like hit his head. I don't think he ever died though. I think he got away.
Yeah, no, he had a concussion, and then when Laurie runs out and like
He
hides in the
passes out on
car,
the
he
steering
gets in the
wheel.
car, and then he passes out on the steering wheel. She has to drag his unconscious ass off of it.
So funny. But yeah, that was a gnarly kill.
Very
I mean,
good.
that was wow. So anyway, so yeah, Halloween 2 is number 4. Number 3 for me is initially coming into this, I was gonna say 2007, or sorry, I was gonna say 2018. I've since switched. I watched them about 3 days ago, both of them. And I think Rob Zombie did an incredible job of giving him a backstory that wasn't uh dangerous to,
It didn't make him like too personified.
Exactly. But at the same time, I think 2018 is just, I was so impressed. I'm gonna put number 3 is gonna be 2007 for me. Rob Zombie did an incredible job with this. I mean, he didn't do an incredible job with the second one because he tried to make it too much of his own, which fine. But this one, I think he just put enough of his spin on the original, concept of it, and that's what I enjoyed. So that's what I'll say in that regard. That's why it ends up there. Then the number 2 is 2018. Just watched this movie again, like I said, and it is so good. I mean, the kills are gnarly. I think really
none
they did
of
such
them
a nice
miss.
job. The bathroom scene with the reporters really sets the tone for the rest of the movie. Like, no. This isn't your 1978 movie. Like, we're going nuts with the
We're gonna get
hardcore
bloody.
gore. We're gonna get disgustingly bloody. This is gonna be close to Rob Zombie. I have a feeling that the one that's coming out tomorrow is gonna be gorier than Rob.
It's going
Zombie's.
to be absolutely disgusting.
I mean, keep in mind, guys, it's all fake. We're not crazy.
Yeah, I promise you, we're not like sitting here like thinking of ways we can drain animals of blood on pentagrams. So this is just, as horror fans, that's what you want.
Exactly. Oh, you just reminded me why I hate Curse so much. The runes. Screw the runes, man. Anyway, on to number 1. We have the same one. And I mean, I think really any diehard Halloween fan, you're going to find pretty much they all have the same ones. And that's the first one. I mean, the original one's amazing. John Carpenter created the whole thing. Could this upcoming one be better? I think it has a chance. I'm not going to say it will, but I think it has a chance. I don't know about Halloween Ends. I mean, well, I guess we'll see. That comes out next year. Pretty crazy. We're getting back-to-back Halloween years when we waited since 2018. But
they're going the Lord of the Rings Halloween style. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm digging it, man. I definitely don't mind it. But that's my list. That's your list. I think ours are kind of similar. I mean, they're a little bit different.
A few discrepancies.
But, that's pretty much what it's going to be, and that's why having a podcast like this is going to be so much fun. Cause I mean, it's not just going to be Halloween that we talk about. Like I see people in the comment section, Frankie, Elm Street, I recognize 1 and 3 and New Nightmare began.
I think most Friday the 13th diehards, those are the ones that they kind of recognize, and the rest of them just suck.
Yeah. So, Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Scream, we'll be talking about it all. You'll be watching the Chucky series, I assume.
Yeah, something I've always loved Child's Play, but it's never been like a movie that I'm scared of. I've always just found Chucky hilarious. So
Chucky's great. I just love that Don Mancini's doing this one.
Me too.
He wanted to do it, and just to kind of add some clarity. I mean, this obviously isn't about Chucky, but to add some clarity to that, because people were asking me like, why didn't he do the new Child's Play? And it's like, actually, that was the total like middle finger to Don Mancini by the studio saying, hey, we have the IP. And we can do this, and you can't stop us. And it's kind of goes to show you how, dark the movie industry can be, in a sense. I mean, besides other examples I could give you, that's a little bit lesser, dangerous of an example. But, Mancini created this thing. And, now I think it was at the Cult of Chucky was the last one, or Curse. One of them. I forget which one.
Yeah, I can't remember which one either.
It finished with that, and he was planning a sequel, and then basically the studio was like, nope, we'll do our own thing. And he's been planning it this whole time, so that's what the sci-fi thing is. It's supposed to be a continuation. But so let's dive into this last topic here before we'll just wrap this up here. And then so what should we expect from Michael Myers and Halloween Kills?
Well, we're going to get the flashback scene from 1978, which that's going to be great. I don't know to the extent if we're going to see Sam Loomis. I think we're going to hear him. They're doing something with a voice actor, I do believe. They did it a little bit in 2018 at the beginning in the intro. I think we're going to get something similar to that. There was rumors that I don't know if you saw the dude who looks identical to Donald Pleasance that they just happened to find.
What?
This was this is over a year ago that I saw this, but I don't know if they have him in the movie to be Sam Loomis, or if they're just going to show like Michael Myers and not have Sam Loomis. Maybe if they feel like we're not going to show him just because that's Donald Pleasance's, I'm fine with that. So we'll see. I think we're gonna get some sort of voiceover the way that they did in the beginning of 2018, which that's fine. And if they do have a stand-in, or if they can do some sort of CGI and have Donald Pleasance in it somehow, that would be neat. We know movies are capable of doing that. If they could finish Furious 7 after the passing of Paul Walker, they should be able to do some fun stuff with by putting Donald Pleasance in there. I don't know how they're going to do it, but we are getting a flashback scene, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be, I mean, you're getting the whole, they kind of foreshadowed this, right? You know, a little bit, you know, and I believe it was the 2018 one. No, what's the one where they had all the guys running around, like the drunk guys? It wasn't 2018. It was a while ago.
Drunk guys.
Remember they had the drunk guys with the shotguns. They're running around. They shoot Tom, whatever.
Oh, that's Halloween 4. Yeah.
Halloween 4. Okay. So, yeah, they're kind of doing an homage to Halloween 4 with this whole lynch mob thing.
Yes.
You know?
I can agree with that.
So I do dig that. And I think it's going to, but it's different. It shows you the potential. I mean, we see there's a lot of people out to kind of hunt down Michael Myers.
Evil dies tonight. Like, that's in the trailer. That's all we hear. Just everybody it looks like the entire town of Haddonfield is there. And that's why I think the kill count is going to be so high, because there are so many people there. Yeah. And I just love the scene where, like, Allison's holding a shotgun and, like, we hear in the background everybody chanting "Evil dies tonight." That it's fantastic.
I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it.
It's awesome.
I mean, I mean, we're not going to get a conclusion, I don't think, because
no, I mean, we still
Halloween ends.
Well, so what it's been said is that Halloween Ends is going to take place a few years after Halloween Kills. Okay. So in terms of, like, we might get like a somewhat conclusion to, like, this little part of it, and then Halloween Ends takes place a few years later. So whether that be, you know, obviously Michael Myers isn't going to die, but if they do a number on him and they kind of, like, win this part of the battle and it just takes him a few years to,
I just can't see him going down a lazy river again. I will laugh
if that happens. So help me God. I'm pretty certain that's not going to happen.
I mean,
but
yeah, like, don't pay homage to that.
Yeah,
avoid that.
Yeah, pay homage to all the cool things in the previous iterations, not the crappy ones.
Yeah, like, no, like, I don't know, that stuff. Like, shut up, Dave. Like, you know, stuff like that. Like,
yeah, there were so many. I'm excited to see how many more Easter eggs we get in this one, because there was a ton of them in 2018.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I'm very curious to see what they'll throw in there. I would not mind them throwing in, you know, an alternate mask or something like that. Someone's wearing it in the background, and
we know the Halloween 3 masks are in it because we've seen that in the preview. Those are what the kids are wearing.
When I mean the one where Michael's wearing it in it's Halloween 5. Remember?
Oh yeah, whenever he's driving with Tina.
Yeah. By the way, all right, Halloween 5, why is Michael Myers like a NASCAR driver in that entire movie?
He's like, oh, I hit the mic. He's like holding the wheel as hard as he possibly can. And
God. And then he drives into and this is the funny thing about that movie, because he drives right into a tree. It blows up, and then they don't run away. They just stare at him while he's getting out of it slowly.
Well, because, like, they hear, like, the horn, so they assume, like, his head's down on the horn, and then it stops.
Still not the funniest car scene. That would go to Ben Tramer.
Dude, that entire thing, like, the cop came...
Loomis literally started that. Loomis is... Like, he murdered Ben Tramer because he, like, freaked
him out.
He
pointed a gun at him,
and he ran into the road.
The cop could have clearly seen him and just plows into him.
You could have set that to the Benny Hill theme music, and you would have been fine. I mean, like, that was just so funny, and it shouldn't be funny, right? Someone is being cooked alive. They just get hit by a car. I've been hit by a car. It's not fun, but it's just the whole rapid succession of that scene. That scene goes by way too fast. Ben Tramer, hey, how you doing? We've been hearing about you the whole first movie. And then he gets hit with the Michael Myers mask on, and then immediately erupts into flames. I'm like,
I guess Laurie's not getting that date to homecoming after all.
Exactly. Oh my God, so funny. So yeah, this movie, I think upcoming, the only thing that they could actually do to really ruin it, I think, is if they killed Michael Myers and had someone else take his mantle.
I agree.
I think that's the only thing that could really... I think this movie's set up to be a major success. I think it's going to slaughter box offices. And I think people are going to love it, because I think it's people, you hear, I've been watching a lot of, James A. Janice and, what they do over at Dead Meat, just great YouTube channel. And they actually did, an interview with both Greer and, Jamie Lee Curtis. And they were talking about it, and they just feel so comfortable because the people on set, everyone, whether it's the caterer, whether it's the makeup artist, what have you, these are all diehard you and I, Halloween fans, people that understand, want to be a part of this and, truly have that passion. And I just think so much with this horror genre, you'll find that, but you'll also find people that are entirely trying to have a money grab. What I'll say is that Blumhouse Productions avoids that. I think Blumhouse Productions really does a phenomenal job. They have some fantastic movies. They really haven't missed in a while.
I think Fantasy Island was a Blumhouse production. That's the only one that I remember that I've seen. You liked Fantasy? What the hell, Jake?
I liked Fantasy Island, man. I don't know. It had me on the edge of my seat at the end.
I wasn't like the twist at the end was okay. I liked the twist.
Well, there you go. The twist.
I did like the twist at the end. The movie itself and the concept, not a fan.
Is she ever not a twist antagonist
right?
At the end?
Yeah, that's what I
feel like they need to stop casting her as that because it gives it away.
Just too obvious, yeah.
Like, but that's my point is that, I just feel like it's taken care of. It's in the right hands. And that's why I feel like this movie is going to do well. And I can't wait to discuss it afterwards. So
I will go see it 9 times in the theater. I don't care.
You and I will text about it before, we go live, but, we'll probably give it a week or two. We'll come back on here. We'll talk about it. And then after that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff we can talk about. We can rehash other movies.
The horror genre is a thick pool to dive in. So
this is not going to just be a film. Got someone cursing up here in the Fantasy Island. But this isn't just going to be a podcast about, just reviewing films, right? This isn't just going to be a preview. This isn't going to be this is going to be like whatever we want to talk about in horror films. Maybe we would talk about, horror games. I don't know how you feel with that. What could be a film. I think that'd be an interesting.
To find actually like a decent, like I've watched a bunch of YouTubers like play like different like Michael Myers online games. The few of them are pretty funny. A few of them are actually kind of creepy-ish. But yeah, there's a few horror. I mean, like I've played the Friday the 13th game.
I don't like the teleporting.
Yeah, the teleporting's dumb. Being Jason just sucks. Like I think that being Jason should be the most fun part of that game. I think that's something that you touched on when we talked about that before.
Yes.
But I mean, overall, I don't play too many horror games, but it's something that I would like to get into. So maybe you could introduce me to one, and we can have a little discussion about that.
I will say this: there's going to be a Welcome to Raccoon City coming out in November. Can't wait to see that, the Resident Evil movie. But I will say the Resident Evil stuff that they did with the horror genre, like making it less about like just running like full on tons of zombies running at you, making it more kind of you're trapped in certain spaces in the map. You're going through this, story, and it's more open to just, hordes of zombies. Not Resurrection. Resident Evil Biohazard, which I played entirely. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, I played this entirely on my YouTube channel. You can check that out. I got terrified. There are plenty of videos of me jumping out of my seat. And Resident Evil Village. And I feel like both of those would work as movies. And I'm not saying for people that don't want those as movies, I'm not saying it has to happen. But I think it'd be cool. I'm not.
Was Resident Evil the game where I could be thinking of something else, but there's like it's first person, you're like recording going into some place, and there's this like mutants inside, you have to try to hide, and what the hell is the name of that game? Somebody help me in the comments.
I think it's Biohazard.
Is that Biohazard?
You're talking the family?
No, not even the family. Like it's just like
Outlast,
it's like this.
I think you're talking about.
Yes, Outlast. That's
my God!
Yes.
Make a horror movie called Outlast, and I will be the first one in that theater.
Outlast is horrifying to play.
I've only beaten the first one and all of the DLC for that, but I never beat the second one.
My best friend has the latest one, and like I don't play it. I watch him play because it's just entertaining. But like every once in a while, he'd be like, "Want to play Outlast?" It'd be like 10:30 at night. Turn off all the lights and just crap our pants as we're an hour and a half, and afterward, we're like, okay, yeah, we're done. This is too much.
You know what else is scary? Alien Isolation.
I haven't played Alien Isolation.
Because you make one sound and that xenomorph is in your face. And by the way, it's not even about the xenomorph. It's more about it's not even about the alien, so to speak. Sorry, not everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say xenomorph. It's not even about the alien that's chasing you, that runs full sprint at you and you can't actually outrun it. No, you run into an android and the thing tries to snap your neck like it's Halloween 3, which is, by the way, the greatest scene of Halloween 3 by a mile, when the android literally rips that guy's head off. It like makes no sense. I mean, I get why he does it. You know, that whole thing, he's gonna, you know, basically tell everyone what Silver Shamrock is up to. Yeah. But it's just so funny. It like, that's the type of silliness. What were your thoughts of Season on the Witch when you first saw it? Did you think that Michael was gonna be in that, or did you already know he wasn't?
I was like 10 or 11 the first time I saw it, so I just assumed that Michael Myers was gonna be in it. So I was kind of disappointed. It's like a cult favorite among a lot of horror fans. Like, there's a lot of people who really like that movie. Like, I don't strongly hate it. I don't love it. I don't really have an opinion about it. Like, it's an okay horror movie. But the fact that, you know, when you hear Halloween, you think Michael Myers, and that's what I assumed. And when he wasn't in it, I was like, what the hell is this?
The Stonehenge magic is a little ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, it has its tropes.
I mean, I thought there were some interesting concepts to it. It is very enjoyable. Okay. But yeah, like I was saying to somebody today, I was like, you know, like I showed somebody, you know, a movie called Benny Loves You. And they're like,
have I seen that?
It's keep in mind, it's directed and made, like literally this one guy made this film and it's all entirely made by him. It's fun to watch. I'm not going to lie. You know, it's an interesting little thing there. And I guess my point when I say it's entertaining doesn't mean I have to say I liked it. You know, it's not that, you know, like I love the film. It's just that for 2 hours or hour and 30 minutes, I was entertained. No complaints, you know, and I think that's all you're really looking for in a horror film. You know, I mean, you just want to be entertained, right? I mean, that's really what you want.
Is there a horror movie that you've like had high expectations going in and you just did not like it?
Oh boy, I'm about to get tomatoes thrown at me. You ready for this?
Sure.
The Shining. I think it's the most overrated horror movie ever created.
The Shining, I think, to me, is more of like a psychological thriller almost, rather than
I keep finding like people are like saying, "Oh, you gotta check out this horror movie," and then I watch it. I'm like, "This isn't a horror, but it's like Joker." Like they would probably say Joker's a horror movie. Joker is the #1 example of what a psychological thriller is compared to a horror movie. And American Psycho, which is one of my absolute favorite all-time movies.
Oh yeah, we've talked about American Psycho a lot.
Yeah. Frankie.
I was gonna say Frankie's not happy about your Shining.
You know, I'm not gonna say Shining is the most overrated because people still think that Friday the 13th is the greatest, and like I think you and I might have discussed this. The point of Friday the 13th isn't to have a Laurie Strode, isn't to have, you know, a Julian, isn't to have any sort of characters that you like. They're meat bags. You know, they're all supposed to be people that you watch get murdered by Jason. You're supposed to root for Jason and brutalize people. And I think Michael, the whole, you know, dynamic of Michael Myers, and I think the reason we like it so much is that, you know, you could be like, oh, I like Laurie Strode, I don't want her to die. But you'd be like, oh, Michael is essentially, he's like mowing your lawn because he's like, hey, can you get rid of that shrub right there? All right, thanks, man. Hey, no, not that. That's the flower I just planted. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's that type of deal. Yeah, it's that type of deal where it's like you like the killer, you like how mysterious he is, but at the same time you have your people that you'll root for against him. Whereas Friday the 13th, you throw out the window. And I'd make the argument, Nightmare.
Same thing.
The Nightmare series has, you know, has a character. I'm totally blanking on her name right now. I cannot remember her name right now, but it's not Sidney Prescott. She's from Scream.
That's Scream.
And she's great. And I also like Dewey, and I like
the new Scream trailer, by the way, looks very good.
Looks fantastic.
I hate that
they're probably going to kill off that girl, though, because she was in You, and she is up and coming in this industry.
She's very good.
And I just think it'd be a waste to have her in it for 10
I'm
minutes.
actually going to have to watch all the Scream movies because if I'm being honest with myself, like I've seen the first one. I've heard that it's just incredible, like a bunch of twists and whatnot, and that's what I really like in horror movies. So like, I think I need to go back and rewatch all the Screams. I have seen Scream 4, but it's a long time ago, and so I need to go watch Scream 1 through 4, and just to get caught up on my Scream continuity, just to get hyped for this next one. Nancy, by the way, Frankie commented, is the name of the girl in Elm Street.
Nancy Thompson. That's right. Okay, thank you. Needed that assist there. Yeah, I think with Scream, the best one's the first one. That's not the case with all of the go-to films for me anyway. Like Nightmare on Elm Street, I would say is the best one as well. But when I look at, say, Friday the 13th, I would say the remake is my favorite of the series.
Is it?
Because I think it depicts Jason in a different light where, like he runs around a little bit in the original ones, but no, dude, this guy's full on sprinting at you, like with his freaking machete, and he takes like a giant hack. Like it's good. I enjoy it. People hate it. I like it. But I think people that hate it don't like the new ones, and they like the original. I don't really love the original.
I think the people who don't like the remake are like the diehard Friday the 13th people. Like I'm not a diehard Friday the 13th. I like them.
Yeah.
If I want to watch something that has no plot and I just get to watch a guy murder people, then sure, I like it. I like Friday the 13th 3. I like that. Like the first one doesn't do anything for me just because like I know how it's gonna end. I know it's just some crazy old lady who's mad that her son died.
And that's the thing that sucks is like us seeing that we didn't get to experience. That's a movie I feel like it got stale because as soon as it came out in theaters, no one knew what it was about.
Yeah.
So it was like, who's the killer? And oh my God, it ends up being the mom. It was this big twist. Everyone thought it was Jason. Everyone thought it was the kid coming back and being, but then it wasn't him.
Which is, by the way, that for the time, like I'm sure, like at the time
period,
that
it must
ruled.
have been mind blowing.
Yeah.
But now for you and I, it's like my parents already told me like the whole story with it. My parents ruined that for me. And, well, they warned. I gotta give them credit because they warned me about Season of the Witch. I never had any sort of moment like you had. I already knew. They're like, oh, it's stupid. Michael isn't in it, and it's funny because like growing up, like I mean, I'd still watch all these movies, but if like my mom or my dad watched, a horror movie and they really hated it, they would warn me about it ahead of time. Like, you ever seen the movie Funny Games?
I have not.
They warned me about it one day. I was getting ready for I was in elementary school or middle school, and they're telling me, you're waiting for the good part to happen. It just never happens. It's just, it's funny.
There's one that I really liked that I saw recently, and I can't remember the name of it. But it's basically this kid who like inherits the soul of like this mass murderer, and he just starts going crazy. And at the end, the mom gets shot, and it's revealed that the little boy is no longer like the little boy. It's the person pretty much reincarnated as this little boy. I cannot remember the name of it.
Wow. Well, hopefully you don't remember it because they're going to spoil it for everyone.
Oh yeah, sorry everybody.
No, you're good.
I just gave away this movie. If anybody knows what I'm talking about and you could comment it, that would be awesome because it's going to bother me that I can't remember it. It's The Something. If it's just called like The Boy, I'm going to be angry.
The Boy is terrible. I hated that movie. No, you know what movie I actually recently just saw a horror movie and I loved it? Malignant.
Oh, Malignant's very good.
And it's done. It's like not psychological. It is a horror movie. It is one of those like demon type of slashers.
Yeah.
Like you're never expecting it to be a slasher and a demon type of movie, but it is. So that's all I'm going to say. It's very, very enjoyable.
I like this little horror recommendation part of this podcast. I like Sinister. Sinister is very good.
Sinister's one of the top. In my opinion,
Sinister's fantastic.
We had the conversation like, hey, do you need like an average kind of like fill-in type of guy that's pretty good, but he's not too good. He's not going to cost you too much. Ethan Hawke, man, Ethan Hawke's right there for you, right there for the taking, and everyone agrees. And I feel horrible saying that because I'm sure this is the nicest guy on planet Earth, but
Ethan Hawke's a good actor.
But he's like one of those guys where you're like starring Ethan Hawke, and you're like, all right, so they didn't have that big of a budget.
He was the Purge guy, wasn't he? Was he in the Purge?
Yeah.
That was him? Okay. Just wanted to clarify. Yeah, like I like Ethan Hawke.
Is the first Purge movie a horror film?
I'm going to say no.
Because it's funny. I think all of them are horror films to a degree, by definition.
Yeah. I think part of them is, but like I would say they're more thriller than horror. I think they have horror aspects in them, definitely, but I would classify it like 70-30 more as a thriller.
That's what I find funny, because the first one, it has that setting perfect for a slasher.
Yes.
But it actually, I think, is the most action-packed, because it's in a a small environment, and there's a lot of, just guns blazing type of deal. And I don't feel like people realize that. I haven't seen the first Purge, so definitely don't spoil that for me. I'm going to see that at some point. Or not the first Purge. I've seen that.
I was going to say, you haven't seen the Purge?
The Purge Forever.
I'm not watching that.
Or the Forever Purge, whatever. To me, I've kind of, I'm going to watch it eventually. My first inclination is that it's a money grab movie. It's not like we're watching tomorrow or Friday or whatever you guys are going to watch it, Halloween Kills, where I feel like a lot of people put a lot of passion and work into something that they truly believe in.
Right.
But hey, I've been wrong before. And by the way, I'm not afraid to admit, I like the Hulu. It's on Hulu. I think it was on AMC initially. I like the Purge series. I like the TV series. I thought the first season. Series? Yeah, the first season's good.
Yeah, I mean, like, I didn't hate the first one, but
Frankie's absolutely right with the siren.
That's the siren's cool.
Yeah,
I like the siren. I think it's dope. I liked the first one. After that, like it just felt like a cash grab. I wasn't really into it. So, there was another one that I had in mind that I wanted to say. Oh, okay. What did you think about Bird Box? Have you seen Bird Box?
I've never seen it.
Yeah, like I went the longest time protesting it, and then the girl I was dating at the time said, "Let's watch Bird Box," and I was like, I guess we're watching Bird Box.
Yeah,
I didn't hate it actually. I thought it was a solid movie.
Is it like The Mist? I was told it's literally like a rip-off.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very, very good comparison. Wow, yeah. Yeah, it's basically The Mist.
That's why so many people are protesting it, because they're like, yeah, it's literally The Mist, but everyone's just like freaking out about it on Twitter.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand why people are mad now. It's The Mist.
Yeah. Wow.
Which, by the way, I like The Mist.
I like the Lazarus Effect. You ever see that?
Lazarus Effect? Is that horror to you?
I feel like it's horror.
I didn't dislike the Lazarus Effect. I didn't love it. It was okay.
I feel like it's one of those underrated films that like came out recently, but no one really gives it that recent like boost of credit.
I can agree with that. I mean, like it's not terrible by any means. If it's on and like I have nothing better to do, I'll turn it on. It's not my favorite. I had the movie in my head. Why did it just escape me? The most vile horror movie I've seen is Hills Have Eyes. That movie messed me up.
Yeah. I saw that so long ago I don't even remember it. So I gotta rewatch that.
No, you don't. It's horrible. It's a good movie, but dude,
isn't The Descent kind of pretty messed up as well?
Have I seen The Descent?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
I don't think I've seen The Descent yet.
There's probably people like, how the hell am I going to watch this horror movie or listen to this horror movie podcast when you guys haven't seen these movies? I'm like, hey, I've probably seen a lot of crazy movies.
I was going to say, like, I've seen a lot of like just crappy horror movies just for the heck of it. Like
Chopping Mall,
Ice Cream Man,
Man, great movie. It's horrible, but I enjoyed it.
It's so horrible that it's great. Santa's Sleigh.
Thanksgiving.
That was just that era where every holiday had to have a horror movie.
Yeah. Well, Thanksgiving is actually like I assume it's supposed to be so bad that's good. The third one is just ridiculous. I mean, we're talking about.
I love that there's multiple iterations of Thanksgiving.
I just love that they like skip 2 because they're like, oh, it's in like skip over like they were doing the whole Apple thing, the new iPad. Not the iPad 1, 2, and 3. No, it's the iPad 1, 2, and then the new iPad.
What's like they were doing that type of deal. What's the one with what the hell's his name? The guy who plays Shaggy in Scooby Doo. I can't remember. And Scream. What's his name?
I don't remember.
Why can't? Oh my lord! I love this man so much. Why can't I remember?
You know who would be a perfect replacement for him? Alan Ritchson, Thad from Blue Mountain State.
To play who? Shaggy?
To play that. If they were to redo that Scream movie, to play his character, he would be perfect. Tell me,
Matthew Lillard. That's his name. Yes.
Matthew Lillard.
13 Ghosts. That's a great movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching that.
Yeah,
There's
I do too.
Still people that hate on that, but
I don't know why. I love that movie. I think it's a really good horror movie.
and I actually mentioned this in our chat the other night when we were doing that Spaces. 13 Ghosts, a lot of people don't realize this, had a huge impact on film, and more so the Marvel movies, because with the MCU, all of those set designers, they all went and eventually had part in the Avengers movies. All of those set designers, yeah. This is why, like, the movie industry is crazy. The horror genre, I mean, it's crazy because it's like incestuous. There's like so many, pieces that kind of coincide, and and there's different. You'll notice it over time. They pay homage to different things, and it's really cool. And they'll have different quotes from different movies. Like, say, I was watching. Well, actually, this is a perfect example. So, it actually, let's talk about this. Okay.
Okay. What's up?
Because this is this little bit of a plot hole in H2O. This kind of destroys
plot holes. Yes,
space-time
I love this.
continuum.
You're about to blow my mind, I'm sure.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
So in H2O, they show Scream 2 on the TV. Here's why that's an issue. Okay.
They do?
Because Scream 1 shows Halloween 1 on the TV. You can't do that, because what if that's a double feature? Okay, what? Why has no one mentioned that? No one talks about that.
That was funny.
You can't do that. It doesn't work in that.
Oh my god! No, I did not know. I didn't know Scream 2 was on the TV in H2O.
Yeah, it's very briefly with that the orgy couple.
Couple.
The people that thought that they were gonna have an orgy, then Michael Myers was like, "Nope, corkscrew." Yeah.
I forgot about that kill.
That was very not just that kill, because remember, it was the dumbwaiter, which was really cool because it was also kind of a little bit of a spin on the whole Jamie thing.
From Halloween 5.
Yes. And which, by the way, apparently the guy was actually stabbing into that with a real knife.
Dude.
Maybe that's why she didn't want to come back.
She's like, you know what?
That was the most horrifying time of my life, so I'll pass.
Dude, can you imagine being a little 9-year-old girl and just be like, okay, you've got to be here when I go here, or I'm gonna have a piece of your kneecap on this. So
I'm hoping to God that wasn't filmed in one take, because I've never seen Michael stab that quickly.
Yeah,
there's no way she was able to get away with all those stabs.
Unless she was a member of Cirque du Soleil, there's no way they could have done that in one take.
Oh my god. Okay, Frankie says I could be wrong, but I think Miramax
did
H2O and also produced Scream.
Oh, maybe that's why they did that then.
That doesn't work though. It destroys the space-time continuum.
That's funny. Rusty Productions, Candyman. I haven't seen the new Candyman.
I have. It's very good.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Did Jordan
Peele direct that?
He did. Oh, no, he didn't direct it. He was a producer on that.
Okay.
It was it was a female that directed that. I forget which one.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, it was awesome. Wait, did the ice cream man have a person's head in an ice cream cone? Yes. That was great.
Yes. So you're thinking of the right
adultery.
There's one. It might be Santa's sleigh. I could be wrong, but it's just a killer Santa, and he asks if the people have been naughty or nice. There's a decapitation scene with a kid going down the hill on a sled, and his head flies off. It's great.
Is that Silent Night, Deadly Night?
Yes, that's what it is.
And what is this thing that he always says? It's escaping me right now. Guilty. For no reason. He'll just say guilty over and over again.
I think it just plays off the fact if you've been naughty or nice or something like that. Because when the little girl says nice at the end, he gives her the knife that he used to kill people, and he doesn't kill her.
Yeah, it's Krampus is solid. I don't know if I'll ever see Krampus.
I'm probably not gonna ever watch Krampus.
Yeah,
sorry.
The new Scream does look interesting. All right, how do we want to wrap this thing up?
I don't know.
It's hard to stop talking about horror.
Yeah, I know. I'm having too much. I'm enjoying this a lot.
Nia DaCosta is the one that directed the new Candyman. Shout out to her.
Yeah, I'm sure she did a great job. I want to see it. I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I do need to see it.
People that were complaining about them shoving a message in there, it's like, what do you think Candyman was based on initially? If you look at every horror film or any film, there's always a message. I don't go to say Black Mirror when people are like, oh, they were really shoving that message down our throat. Yeah, and you chose to continue to watch it, didn't you?
Yeah, and the message of Halloween is don't be a horny teenager home alone.
Pretty much. And then Cabin in the Woods basically canonizes everything.
Do you like Cabin in the Woods?
It's a masterpiece. I'm not going to lie. It is a masterpiece. That was unbelievable. I enjoyed the hell out of Cabin in the Woods.
I will say Tom Cruise was funny in that. That was hilarious.
I see a Cabin in the Woods to me, when they explained why things happen in certain horror films, like The Virgin in horror film, things like that. I was like, this is
it's exposing, sort of.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. No one's done anything like this before.
It's just like a satire thing on it. It's great.
That's the thing. And like what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of these, great horror movies, a lot of these, are horror comedy. And horror comedy is a genre that you probably love and you don't even realize it.
Dude, we should do an entire episode on the Scary Movie franchise.
We could, but that's not even what I was talking about, really. I'm talking about like still horror movie, but comedy. Like, because you're going too far, it's over the top.
Give me an example.
Perfect example. You ever see Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yeah.
So the second one is a horror comedy.
I haven't seen the second one.
Okay, you gotta see the second one. It is over embellished. It's ridiculous, and that's why it's a comedy. It's still a horror movie.
So they're trying too hard.
Yeah, it's on purpose. It's supposed to be like, kind of slapstick humor, but still having its horror vibe. Like he still rips this guy's face off and puts it on him, like that whole thing. But there's still a lot of funny, factors to it. And then there's one where, Mrs. Doubtfire, Leatherface, that's the horror comedy aspect of it. That was probably my least favorite. That didn't need to happen. Poor Leatherface will never be respected the same way after that.
I did like the newest Texas Chainsaw. I thought was pretty okay.
The newest one is my second favorite.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I enjoy that, but don't even ask me to explain that timeline because I don't know what's.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't understand it.
I'm not gonna pretend to be like a Texas Chainsaw diehard. I enjoy the first one. I like the remake. There's a few of the sequels that suck. Wasn't there a remake in like 2003 or something?
Yeah.
That was early 2000s.
And then they made Leatherface, I think, in 2015.
Yeah.
I have it somewhere here because I did a ranking of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah. So the 74 one, the original is great.
Yeah,
I mean,
really good.
that's the best one. That's one of the best horror films ever made, in my opinion. Because that came before really most of them. I mean, A Bay of Blood supposedly started everything with the slasher genre. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't think it's horrible, but it's not really my cup of tea. There's not really a ton of like interesting. If there is a storyline, it's not really very interesting to me. It doesn't really stick in my head. But horror comedy. Yes, exactly. Nightmare on Elm Street 4, 5, and 6. Nightmare.
Okay.
Later on.
You're
doing like Freddie with glasses and time to use the power glove. Like that is entirely horror comedy. Like. Also, I probably should never say that again because that actually made me upset. Leatherface came out in 2017. It's my second.
Can we consider Freddie versus Jason almost horror comedy then? Because there's a lot of stupid stuff in that.
Yeah, kind of. Because what's the point of it? It's because Freddie, no one believes in Freddie anymore, so he hires Jason to kill people. And then they fight each other.
The premise is funny.
And then they fight each other at the end, and it's just. Even 2 is somewhat horror comedy with Jesse screaming. You gotta just go and look. Like Shot by Nolan knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I'll do this live for everybody because I haven't seen Freddy vs. Jason 2, so I need to see. I'll just YouTube Jesse screaming Freddy. Okay.
No, it's the second movie. It's I actually might even have it. That one scene, Freddy got high. Yeah, that's the type of stuff we're talking about here. All right, let's see what we can do here. So, in case no one's realized, my stand broke, so I've been holding it the entire time.
I was gonna say, yeah, what happened there, my friend?
Yeah, it just snapped. So now that we know that, the cat's out of the box, I'm gonna
Okay,
stop holding it.
I think I found it.
Trying to make it look good.
Let me see. Jesse.
Yes, that's it.
All of Jesse's screams.
I told you. Everyone, I'm telling you right now, just literally YouTube search after this Jesse's Walsh scream. Shop I know it says Jesse Walsh's scream greater than Freddy versus Jason.
Oh my god.
It is the greatest thing in horror I've ever seen.
Amazing. Like, I've never noticed how funny that, like, granted, it's been forever since I've seen that.
Yeah.
I never realized how funny that was.
It's like the only thing I remembered about that movie when I had to go back and watch it.
God, that was great.
It was like, his screaming makes that movie, man, because he does it like 6 times, and it's the facial expressions. It's like, it's just perfect. Oh man,
that was incredible. Well, if there's any way that we're gonna wrap this, it'll be on Jesse's screams.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's how we're gonna wrap up this podcast video for you guys. For people that are listening after the fact, appreciate you. And yes, I'm not kidding. Go and watch Jesse Walsh's Scream.
Yeah, it's worth the minute.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2. It is 100% necessary. There is no what's her face? I'm Nancy Thompson. She was not in the second one, so he had huge shoes to fill. And I thought he did a good job just with the screaming.
Yeah, no, that I need to go back and rewatch that movie in its entirety now because I'm gonna laugh a lot. That's hilarious. Oh, that's great.
Well, hey, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. You can follow me at JK Bogan. You can follow my buddy Jarrett over here at J Bailey NFL. This has been the Devil's Eyes podcast, episode number 1, and you can find all of our content on Twitter. We do not just horror stuff. I mean, we're always talking football and whatnot. So if you're into that as well, we do that. So you guys take care, and until next time, we will see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoy Halloween Kills, and we'll be back next episode to talk about the ending of Halloween Kills and talk about the movie in general. So take it easy, guys.